It's Tego Venturi with Venturi Group of Real Broker here in Albuquerque, New Mexico with another market update. This one's different. I usually do a monthly, kind of tell you what happened in the previous month compared to the previous year and so on. This time I pulled out a whole bunch of data, built out some brand new charts to really give you a big picture of what's going on, because so many times we get a little bit of here, a little bit there about what's going on with the real estate market. I wanted to paint a big picture, an annual picture, since it is a new year. We've got the 24 data in, and we can look back. And what I did is I went back to 2004 in most of these, and I've got some data back to 1994 related to home prices. So let's jump into this. Home sales, home supply, really supply and demand is what we're looking at here. We're looking at it annual. We're looking at every year since 2004, but we're looking at it as an average monthly value. I felt like this was a good way to really illustrate where we are, because if you look at monthly and you see the peaks and valley over the years, it doesn't really put it all together. First off, so I'm going to hover over here on the green, which is average monthly number of homes sold. In 2024, it was 802. That's just barely above last year at 797, so 0.5%. If we look at pending sales for 24, it was 828, so a little bit more than sold, and that's just a couple different things going on there, but I don't want to get into details on it. But yeah, a little bit more than last year, about 3% more than 2023. But you can look at over the years. In 21 and 20 in particular, it was more like 1,200 homes per month. So a lot slower than it has been in previous years. All right, and we jump to new listings. This has been the story of the last few years, as people aren't listing their homes as often. We're not seeing as many homes coming on the market. Bumped up a little bit this year. On average, it was 1,027 per month versus 960 last, well, I guess now it's 2 years ago in 23. A little bit more, about 7% more, 23 versus 24. And 23 was by far the lowest number of homes we've seen listed for sale in a really, really long time. Actually, look at that, all the way back to 2004 here on the chart. So people are staying put. If you want to dig into lock-in effect, you can look into that, and it just has to do with the people that have low mortgage rates aren't too excited to sell right now, so we're not seeing as many homes come on the market. All right, active. That was definitely the story during the pandemic in 21 and 22. Very few number of homes on the market. We're definitely bumped up from what those levels were, or up 26% from E3, but it's still low. I mean, we're looking at whatever this is, 1,754 per month in 2024, and we go back to 2019, it was 2,727 per month in 1919. Again, the last kind of what I would call normal year. We are getting more supply. It's just not back to the levels that you would consider a normal market. And we'll look at month supply of inventory here in a second that will illustrate that. All right, days on market. I've got both median days on market, half the homes sell before the median and after that median number. Did I describe that well? I think that was close. I think you get it. I also took the long-term average, the 20-year, or actually in this case, 21-year average. Median days over that 21-year period was 30 days. In 2024, it was 15 days. So that means all the homes that sold in 2024, half of them sold within 15 days. The other half took longer than that. And on average in 24, it was 33 days, which is quite a bit more than we saw during those 20, 21, 22 years, but it's still below the 2019 year of 40 days on market on average. And the long-term average for average is 51 days. So we're still below that from a time to sell standpoint. You know, we go back to those tough years of 10, 20, you can see average days on market 78, 80. You know, we were in that 80-day range there for quite a few years. And, you know, we've worked our way out of that. So homes are still turning over relatively quickly, especially if it's a great house, and price to the market, and certain price points definitely make a difference. Part of town makes a difference. So again, these are averages and medians. These are not, you can never use that and just pin this on your house and say, okay, it's going to take me that long for that home to sell, because it just doesn't work that way, because every home is a little bit different and there's different things that will drive the sale. Okay, Month supply, I mentioned we would talk about this. So this is our supply versus demand measurement. So it's a ratio of, okay, how much supply do we have coming or on the market versus how much is going off the market? If nothing else comes on and the same number of homes sell, how many months until we have no supply? The belief was that somewhere around 4, 5, 6 months supply was a balanced market. Well, we haven't seen that in a long time, since let's say 2016, even 2017. We were below that. And all those years home prices have gone up. And to be honest with you, home prices have been going up every year since somewhere 12, 13, let's say. But even in 13, we had over 6 months supply. In 14, we had almost 7 months supply for the whole year. But home prices went up moderately, but home prices did go up those years. It's good to just look at it from a relative standpoint. But if you look at 2024 at 2.2 months supply, that would still be considered a very strong seller's market for sure. Not all homes, I'm going to say it again, not all homes, not all areas, not all price ranges, but on average, it's considered a seller's market. So I just wanted to illustrate that. All right. List to sell ratio. Let me see if I can blow this up so we can see it better. There we go. List to sell ratio. We've got the original list price from what the home was listed for originally to what it ended up finally selling for. But we also have the list price at the time it went pending, meaning that you have the original price, prices were reduced, and then you've got the list price at time of sale, and then the final close price. So in 2024, basically 99% is where we were at for the list price at time of contract to the actual final sale price. So about a % discount. But if you look at the original list price to final sale price, it was 97%. So about 3% discount, give or take, 2.7% discount versus the original price, meaning some people definitely got ahead of themselves in 2024. We did see more price reductions in 2024 than we had seen in other years. But, you look at this year like 2021 where, the average, both the original list price and the final list price, both over list price on average that year for the homes that sold. And, you can see the rest of it here, and you can see how it was different in the other years. And of course, the slow years of 10, 11, and the other busy years of 05, 06. All right, pricing. I pulled this and I looked at both average and median price. Now this is monthly. We're looking at monthly data all the way back to 1994. So in the beginning of 94, the median price of the homes that sold that month were $99,000. And the average was 119. And you can see the trend. You can see the move up here through 2007, the pullback through 2012, 13, and then the moderate increases through the years up until 2020 when we really had some accelerated appreciation. Now, what this does point out here, especially here in 22, for example, we had a big move up in the first half of the year, and then it pulled back. But then a year later, we're still up year over year again. So it's not always a straight line. There is an ebb and flow seasonally of home prices in our market. But what I wanted to point out was I took this and I looked at the fourth quarter of 1994 and I looked at the fourth quarter of 2024. I did the 3-month average just to get rid of some of that month-to-month fluctuation. But median price was 111 in 94, and it ended up at 357 in 2024. Average 127 up to 409 in the fourth quarter of 24. But this is the interesting part. 220% increase over that period. That's a 30-year period. Average annual growth rate, that includes everything, all the ups and downs, all through that period, 3.95%, or about, let's just call it 4%, round up there. About 4% per year on average over the entire period. If you use the rule of 72, it's about 18 and a half months to double. If you're not familiar with the rule of 72, it's kind of interesting. You might look it up. All right, just a little side note there. All right, last thing, total dollar volume of residential real estate sold by year in the Albuquerque area. For 2024, it was $3.845 billion versus $3.7 billion in 2023. And if you look, we had our record year here in 2021. We're going to keep talking about 2021. $4.75 billion worth of real estate sold that year. Even though 2024, we do consider it a slower year, as we saw in the charts, not as many sales, dollar volume wise, it was still the fourth most amount ever in the Albuquerque area. And of course, some of that has to do with home prices have appreciated, which of course drove up all the prices, which drove up the total dollar volume of real estate sold. At the time of me recording this, I haven't uploaded these yet. I'll put them on my website. If you've got any questions about real estate in Albuquerque, what's going on with the housing market in Albuquerque, you can reach me or you can reach our team at 505-448-8888. Take care.